People are wondering what's going on with Hollywood. Well, let me tell you, Hollywood is still moving a bit slow when it comes to putting out projects, whether it's film, TV shows, and that's due to multiple things. The past year or two have been quite hard for people working in the industry, crew, directors, producers, and then getting into gaffers and costume designers and editors. There's been a lack of work simply because there's less shows being produced right now. And that is because of a few different reasons. As you know, during the pandemic, people like to call that peak TV. There was so much to watch. There were so many shows. There was just a lot of content. Some of these apps and these companies were producing and churning out so much work, but there wasn't really a profit being made or a large enough profit. And then we have the writer's strike, and then production starts to slow down. So you have a lack of large profits from the pandemic. Then you have the writer's strike that slows down production. Production is halted. There's a lack of revenue coming in. And that strike lasted a while, right? After the strike is over and things start to roll again, you have executives at different studios and companies looking at numbers and thinking, okay, it's time for us to cut back on all these shows that we were producing. We need to produce less. We need to figure out where we can cut costs. So let's do a few things. Let's produce less shows. Maybe let's take some of our work overseas because it's a bit cheaper. But I will say this, it's also slower overseas as well. So it's not like everything went overseas, but some stuff did go overseas. And here's a stat. Television series fell by 14% in 2023 compared to 2022, signaling the end of peak TV. In Georgia, production of television series dropped by 35.2%, while the UK saw a 33.3% decline in the same category. Film and television production in Los Angeles fell by 20% in 2023. US scripted productions declined by 4.8%. I'm in a lot of filmmaker groups, and for the past couple of years, it's been disheartening to see so many people make posts wondering and questioning when will there be work again. A lot of people have shifted to different jobs outside of the industry. Some people are working completely outside of Hollywood. Some people are working at grocery stores. Some people are delivering Amazon packages. Some people have just moved to corporate. Some people are studying for certifications. So they're just trying to find ways to make money and survive. And a lot of these people lived in LA, and LA is expensive. So there has been a number of people moving outside of LA because there's not as much work and they can't afford it. Every few months there's industry talk where people are like, okay, it's about to start picking up. It's about to start picking up. Some people are saying that it's picking up now, or it's about to start picking up in January 2025. And if so, that's good. I just don't know if it will match the level it was prior, like during the pandemic when there was so much going on. I definitely think there's still gonna be an industry, obviously, but I just feel like it's going to be a bit smaller, which means there is less jobs. I also think this because media is changing. There's so many people that just pick up their phone and their cameras and produce content for YouTube, Twitch, and they're raking in millions and millions of views, and advertisers are paying them now. We are consuming media differently. And yes, there's still people going to the theaters, that's true. But there's a lot of people just watching content on their phones. There's some, especially younger people, a lot of times they don't even watch TV like that. They just are on YouTube, or they are on Twitch, or they are on TikTok. And so the landscape is changing. So Hollywood is changing. We'll see what's going to happen in 2025. And one thing I think is important is to stay up on the news, stay up on technology.